Hi YouTube family, hope all of you are doing really good. I got stupendous response on yesterday's video on Yes Bank, and so I thought, why not do one more analysis, a very powerful analysis of housing finance companies in India. A lot is happening in this segment also, and I promise you this video will turn out to be very useful for everybody out there. And just listen to me carefully about whatever I am saying. I'll start right from the scratch where this entire problem actually started with the housing finance companies and where we stand today. And then I will give you my stock recommendations also at the end of the video. Now let's understand how we are going to divide this total discussion. First, the first big fiasco, the first black day for the equity markets as far as the housing finance companies is concerned was 14th of September 2018. Next big destruction happened in the market on 21st of September 2018. Then we will discuss about the role of Deloitte in all this, because they were the chartered accountants for a particular company that I'm going to discuss today. And then I will discuss about what are the recent updates in today's day. Although markets were closed, but a lot of things have happened today also. And then finally I will give you my stock recommendation. So this is how we are going to discuss about different phases of this entire episode. Okay, so first let me again break it down from the scratch for you. Basically, the main culprit in this entire scenario is IL&FS, Infrastructure Leasing and Finance Service. Basically, IL&FS is a NBFC. It is NBFC means it's not a bank, but it is also involved in funding different projects. It can be infrastructure projects, it can be housing projects, it can be corporate projects. There are different types of projects. Funding can be done via banks, funding can be done via angel investors, funding can be done via NBFCs also. So there are different NBFCs in India. However, the way NBFC operates is a little different from how banking segment operates. जैसे बैंक के लिए मैंने कल भी आपको बताया था कि बैंक का जो सोर्स ऑफ फंडिंग होता है पब्लिक डिपॉजिट्स पे भी हेवीली डिपेंड करते हैं बैंक्स, पर एनबीएफसी का ऐसा नहीं है. एनबीएफसी बेसिकली जो फंडिंग करता है, खुद का फंडिंग पहले वो पैसा लेता है और फिर वो आगे पैसा प्रोजेक्ट्स की फंडिंग में देता है. तो IL&FS भी एक NBFC है, और जैसे कि अदर NBFC होते हैं वैसे ही IL&FS भी फंडिंग के लिए ज़्यादातर डिपेंडेंट हैं बॉन्ड्स के ऊपर, या फिर इक्विटी फंडिंग तो रहता ही है, और या फिर वो बॉन्ड्स इशू करते हैं या फिर वो कमर्शियल पेपर इशू करते हैं. कमर्शियल पेपर्स आर फॉर शॉर्ट टर्म फंड रेजिंग. तो इस तरीके से वो बॉन्ड्स पे या कमर्शियल पेपर पे एक फिक्स्ड रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट पे करते हैं, और इन डेट इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स पे प्रिंसिपल कब वापस करेंगे उसका भी कमिटमेंट रहता है. सो बेसिकली द मनी विच द एनबीएफसी विल गेट विल कम विद सम कमिटमेंट्स टुवर्ड्स इंटरेस्ट, कमिटमेंट टुवर्ड्स प्रिंसिपल रीपेमेंट, और ये पैसा फिर वो लेके अलग अलग सेक्टर में अलग अलग सेगमेंट में फंडिंग करते हैं. तो IL&FS जो कंपनी है, जैसा कि आपको नाम से समझ में आता है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर लीजिंग एंड फाइनेंस सर्विस, IL&FS इज बेसिकली अ होल्डिंग कंपनी ऑफ IL&FS ग्रुप. ठीक है, तो ये कंपनी जो है इसका स्ट्रक्चर बहुत ही कॉम्प्लिकेटेड था, और यहाँ पे कम से कम 300 से ज़्यादा सब्सिडरीज थी इनकी ऑल अक्रॉस द ग्लोब, और ये कंपनी के कुछ जॉइंट वेंचर्स भी थे, कुछ एसोसिएट एंटरप्राइजेस भी है. तो ये कंपनी का जो ऑपरेशंस है वो पूरा अक्रॉस द ग्लोब स्प्रेड आउट है. पर इनका जो कोर बिजनेस है, कोर बिजनेस मीन इनका जो मेन बिजनेस है वो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट्स का फंडिंग था. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट्स का फंडिंग. दिस कंपनी इज बेसिकली हेडक्वार्टर्ड इन मुंबई and its inception happened in the year 1987, I believe, and the equity was primarily funded by Central Bank of India, Unit Trust of India and HSBC. These are the main equity participants. As on date, the company had the major stakeholders of the company are LIC, इसका एक major stakeholder है, which is holding around 25%, and then there is another company called Orix Corporation from Japan, which is holding close to 23.5%. Then HDFC also has 9%, and SBI has around 6.5% of holding in the shares of IL&FS. I always tell my clients, when I am going to invest in the stock of a company, if I'm going to buy some considerable good number of shares like 500,000, 1,500, 2,000 shares I'm going to buy in a company, I can't blindly just buy these shares based on how the fundamentals of the company are. I'm going to look beyond that, and I will also see how strong the board of the company is, how good is its corporate governance. I will also see who all are the major stakeholders in the company. In this case, when the names which I narrated just now in front of you, I have a reason for doing that. This gives you a solid confidence in the company that when such big players are having their stakes in the company, they're holding such heavy stakes in the company, you start feeling rest assured कि चलो भाई ये कंपनी में पैसा आंख बंद करके लगाया जा सकता है, क्योंकि इसमें तो LIC ने, SBI ने, HDFC ने, सबने पैसा लगाया है, सबने फंडिंग किया है, मतलब कंपनी में दम है, which was true till September 14th. अभी क्या हुआ, ये कंपनीज जब इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट्स का फंडिंग करती है, तो आप एक बात समझिए, ये इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट्स मतलब उन कंपनीज को आगे पैसा देते हैं जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट में इन्वॉल्व्ड हैं. वो कंपनीज गवर्नमेंट कंपनीज भी हो सकती है, वो कंपनीज रिलायंस और L&T की तरह प्राइवेट कंपनीज भी हो सकती है. तो बेसिकली IL&FS is an NBFC which is playing the role of an intermediary. वो कहीं से पैसा उठाता है और उस पैसे को आगे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट के लिए फंड करता है. इनका खाली इक्विटी के बेसिस पे आगे फंडिंग नहीं हो सकता है, इसलिए ये मार्केट से डेट रेस करते हैं और डेट के लिए ये बॉन्ड्स इशू करते हैं, कमर्शियल पेपर इशू करते हैं, और इसके अंदर जो पैसा है वो अलग अलग इन्वेस्टर्स लगा सकते हैं. जैसे कि बैंक्स ने भी इन्वेस्ट किया हुआ है IL&FS के अंदर, उन्होंने भी फंडिंग किया हुआ है. उसके बाद म्यूचुअल फंड्स ने भी अपना पैसा दिया हुआ है IL&FS को. उसके बाद हैरानी वाली बात बता रहा हूँ आपको यहाँ पे, जो पेंशन का ट्रस्ट है या प्रोविडेंट फंड का ट्रस्ट होता है, एम्प्लॉयज़ का रिकग्नाइज प्रोविडेंट फंड होता है, वो फंड भी पैसे को कहीं ना कहीं तो इन्वेस्ट करेगा ना. तो उन्होंने भी बहुत सारे NBFCs में पैसा लगाया हुआ था, जिसमें IL&FS में भी पैसा लगाया गया था. तो कहीं ना कहीं एक जो रिटेल इन्वेस्टर है, एक सीधा साधा एम्प्लॉय है जिसका कुछ पैसा प्रोविडेंट फंड में जाता है, उसका भी कहीं ना कहीं एक्सपोजर है IL&FS के ऑपरेशंस में. दैट इज़ अ वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग टू नो. तो अभी जब IL&FS आगे फंडिंग करेगा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कंपनीज को, तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कंपनीज इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का डेवलपमेंट करेगा. उसके बाद वो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट्स के कंप्लीशन पे उन प्रोजेक्ट्स को बेचेगा, वहाँ से उनको पैसा मिलेगा, वो पैसे से वो IL&FS को रीपे करेगा, और उस पैसे से IL&FS आगे जो बॉन्ड्स इशू किया गया था उनके द्वारा उस पे वो इंटरेस्ट और प्रिंसिपल का रीपेमेंट करेगा. I hope you have understood whatever I said so far. This is how the NBFCs operate. Now the problem is, because of lot of regulatory hiccups which India faced in last 4 to 5 years, जैसे GST का implementation हुआ तो economic slowdown हुआ एक बार, because we are not here to debate whether GST turned out to be good or not. What I am saying is, when a tax reform is introduced, it will give a hiccup to the economy at a first instance. So that brought in some slowdown in the economy. Then we had demonetization, that will again bring some kind of a slowdown in the economy. Then we also had change in the land acquisition laws in 2013, which will again bring some changes in how the infrastructure companies can proceed with their acquisition of the land and all. So all these things have in a consolidated manner created some kind of slowdown in the infrastructure projects. When projects completion will become slow, then these infrastructure companies, which have basically taken money from IL&FS, will find it difficult to repay. And when IL&FS is not going to get back the money from the borrower, it becomes difficult for IL&FS to pay it back to the lender. I hope you understand, and this is what resulted in the first default from IL&FS on September 14th, when it failed to pay interest plus principal on some commercial papers and bonds. This happened on September 14th. At this point of time, IL&FS had a debt equity ratio of 18:1. That's a very massive debt equity ratio, and they were sitting on a total debt of, okay, listen carefully, they were sitting on a total debt of 91,000 crores. 91,000 crores. That figure can't be fed in your calculator. 91,000 crores is the total debt on which IL&FS was sitting, and they have literally surrendered that they won't be able to pay this money because of the economic slowdown and because they are not getting the money from the infrastructure companies. When they don't get money from the borrowers, it becomes difficult to pay back to the lenders. When this happened, ICRA is the credit rating agency. Now understand the role of credit rating agency over here. When companies will issue bonds or commercial papers, फर्स्ट एज अ इन्वेस्टर, चाहे मैं म्यूचुअल फंड हूँ, चाहे मैं बैंक हूँ, चाहे मैं एक इक्विटी इन्वेस्टर हूँ, मेरे को एक कंपनी के ऊपर ट्रस्ट कैसे आएगा? तो सबसे पहले एक थर्ड पार्टी होती है, जैसे इक्रा है, केयर है, क्रिसिल है, फिच है, मूडी है. दीज आर सम क्रेडिट रेटिंग एजेंसीज जो पहले एक रेटिंग देता है कि IL&FS का एक रेटिंग है कि IL&FS एक रेटिंग का सिस्टम जो है वो AAA, AA, सिंगल A, ट्रिपल B, डबल B, सिंगल B ऐसे है. AAA बीइंग द बेस्ट रेटिंग एंड D रेटिंग सबसे लोएस्ट होता है, जिसको जंक कैटेगरी बोला जाता है. तो वो रेटिंग लेना पड़ता है हर एक बोरोवर को. तो यहाँ पे IL&FS ने अपना रेटिंग किया हुआ था. अभी IL&FS का रेटिंग डिपेंड करेगा कि वो कितना रिलायबल है कि वो पैसे को रिटर्न कर पाएगा. इफ IL&FS हैड अ गुड रेटिंग ओनली, दैट इज द रीजन probably why mutual funds and pension funds and provident funds were giving their money to IL&FS. पर यहाँ पे आके इकरा ने उनका रेटिंग डाउन कर दिया था सितंबर 14 को, assuming that there will be liquidity crisis. और उन्होंने एक इनडायरेक्टली एक चेतावनी दिया था, एक वार्निंग दिया था. हो सकता है when one NBFC is under pressure, when they are downgraded, that is the time when you will have attention towards other banking finance companies, NBFCs. और वहाँ पे जब एक कंपनी, एक NBFC का रेटिंग खराब होता है, इसका इम्पैक्ट कहीं ना कहीं बाकी सब कंपनीज पे भी आता है, क्योंकि लिक्विडिटी श्रिंक हो जाती है मार्केट में, फंड्स का अवेलेबिलिटी थोड़ा सा रिड्यूस हो जाता है, बैंक्स और म्यूचुअल फंड्स थोड़ा कंजर्वेटिव हो जाएंगे, वो अपना पैसा नहीं देना चाहेंगे दूसरे NBFCs को. और उस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे फंडिंग बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर NBFCs. एंड यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, इफ NBFC इज नॉट गेटिंग फंडिंग, देन इट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर देम टू डू बिजनेस, बिकॉज इफ NBFC डज नॉट गेट फंडिंग, देन दे वोंट बी एबल टू lend money to the borrowers out there. This is the whole story on September 14th. Okay, now on 21st of September, the commercial papers which DHFL has issued. I am introducing now another company over here. DHFL is Diwan Housing Finance Limited. This company has been very much in news for last 6 months or so. Stock was trading close to 650 odd bucks. Today it is trading close to 130 rupees and went down to below 100 also few months back. तो DHFL ने भी वैसे ही, इट्स अगेन फाइनेंसिंग, इट्स अगेन NBFC, इन्होंने भी कमर्शियल पेपर्स इशू किया था जिसमें अलग अलग म्यूचुअल फंड्स ने इन्वेस्ट किया था. After 14 September, as I told you, we were already very conservative about other NBFCs, of which one was DHFL. तो हुआ क्या सर, September 21st को DSP म्यूचुअल फंड एक फंड हाउस है जिसने DHFL में काफ़ी फंडिंग किया हुआ था और कमर्शियल पेपर्स खरीदे थे DHFL से. उन्होंने उठा के कमर्शियल पेपर्स को सेल आउट कर दिया, उन्होंने कमर्शियल पेपर्स को बेच दिया मार्केट में और नुकसान में बेचा. जब ये न्यूज़ मार्केट में आई तो इसका क्या रिएक्शन होगा इन्वेस्टर्स का, सोच के देखिए. इन्वेस्टर्स विल थिंक दैट DSP म्यूचुअल फंड probably has sold the commercial paper because they are not very sure if recovery will happen from DHFL. This was basically resulting from IL&FS fiasco on September 14th, and within 7 days DHFL stock fell 60%. You heard me right, 60, not 16, not 6, 60% the stock fell in a day, and it lost a total market capitalization of 10,000 करोड़. टोटल मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन, मैंने मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन पहले भी डिफाइन किया हुआ है. मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन इज नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स आउटस्टैंडिंग इनटू करंट मार्केट प्राइस. जब DSP म्यूचुअल फंड ने बेचा कमर्शियल पेपर नुकसान में, तो लोगों को, इन्वेस्टर्स को ये लगा कि लो भाई, IL&FS की तरह कहीं ना कहीं DHFL ने भी हाथ खड़े कर दिए हैं और इनका स्टोरी, इनका चैप्टर यहाँ पे खत्म है. इसीलिए लोग जिन्होंने इस कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट किया वो कमर्शियल पेपर और बॉन्ड मार्केट में बेच रहे हैं. Although the CEO of DHFL came up with a clarification in no time, within no time he came up with a clarification कि देखो भाई, हमारे पास liquidity crunch नहीं है, we have lots of money with us. They said we have a liquidity worth 10,000 crores. Coincidence है, 10,000 crores से ही उनका market cap नीचे गया था और वो कह रहे थे कि हमारे पास 10,000 crores का liquidity available है, हमें कोई problem नहीं है, जब जिस लोन का इंटरेस्ट का पेमेंट करना है हम आराम से कर सकते हैं, हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. But this did not help their cause. Investors have lost their trust in the company, and the share was under pressure since then. The stock has been under pressure. From September till date, the housing finance companies like Canfin Home, India Bull Housing Finance, PNB Housing Finance, all these companies are under a lot of pressure, and all these companies' stocks have literally become half the worth from that time till this time. Okay, and now comes breaking news which came in yesterday. We are not sure if this is going to happen, but if it happens, it will be a big day. In the world of the chartered accountancy firms, because now what has happened is, you need to understand one thing. There is a whistleblower policy जहाँ पे कंपनी का कोई internal, maybe part of the board, maybe part of the employees, they will come up with a internal information जहाँ पे वो inform करेंगे regulatory authorities को कि कुछ ना कुछ कंपनी में खराब चल रहा है. तो जो बोर्ड है IL&FS का, उन्होंने अभी ये रिक्वेस्ट किया है कि board of IL&FS has requested that Deloitte should be closely monitored, Deloitte should be closely examined, because Deloitte, being the auditors for IL&FS, had done some negligence on their part, as a result of which all this fiasco has happened. Now, again, I told this yesterday to you. As an investor, as an analyst, I am heavily dependent on statutory auditors, and statutory auditors under any circumstances cannot run away from their duty. It is very important that the statutory auditors look beyond what is being provided to them. They have to consider substance over form. They just can't go by the books of accounts. However, in this case, it's not just that they have misinterpreted the books of accounts or they have failed to interpret the books of accounts. The problem is that the whistleblowers have come up with these allegations that Deloitte, to a large extent, was knowing about all these problems going to come in the year 2018. They knew it since long time, and they had a major role to play in this, because they could have easily qualified their report. Basically, Deloitte had a good understanding about the cash flows coming in for IL&FS. Then why did they not qualify the report? Why did they not make it clear that there are some cash crunch problems going to happen for IL&FS, as a result of which investors in the IL&FS, equity investors like you and me, would have been able to take necessary action on their part, but Deloitte has failed everywhere. Allegations have been put on Deloitte that they have been paid heavily for suppressing the facts. They have been given a lot of contracts with exorbitant profits just to keep silent. And now this is SFIO, the Serious Fraud Investigation Office, has been basically drilling down with the CEO of Deloitte, and they are now closely examining. And if found guilty, if they gather enough evidence that Deloitte was negligent, or Deloitte had some financial interest, as a result of which they were suppressing the scenario, the weak scenario of IL&FS, then in that case, you understand, we are going to experience something exactly what happened with PwC in January 2018 in the Satyam scam. In Satyam scam, PwC has been given 2 years of, they have been blacklisted for 2 years, where they can't take up any audits of the private listed companies, right? And they can't even do for the other intermediaries, they can't do any audits for them. For 2 years, a ban has been put. In this case, the regulatories are contemplating a ban of 5 years, because this is a very, very serious thing to look into, because as a statutory auditor, Deloitte had a big role to play. Although Deloitte is saying that they have done everything as per the standards of auditing, they have not been negligent at any point of time. But if they are caught to be negligent, or if they have suppressed any facts intentionally, okay, in that case, they might have to face a ban of 5 years, where they won't be allowed to do any audits and all. And then legal proceedings will start against the chartered accountants and the company as a whole, which again will be a very, very bad news for the fraternity of chartered accountants. Okay, and yesterday only I was discussing this with you, that chartered accountants, the statutory auditors, have a huge role to play, because the investors, the stakeholders, the government, the SEBI regulator, everybody is dependent on the clean sheet being given by statutory auditors, or the reports being qualified by statutory auditors. That is the reason, sir, जब नरेंद्र मोदी ने CA डे पे ये बोला था कि कहीं ना कहीं चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स रिस्पॉन्सिबल है इकोनॉमिक स्लोडाउन के लिए, तो हमने गुस्से होकर नारे लगा दिए कि CA के बारे में, वो CA डे पे ऐसा गलत कैसे बोल सकते हैं. ज़्यादा इमोशनल होने का जरूरत नहीं है. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड समवेयर वी हैव फेल्ड एज अ फ्रेटर्निटी, एंड दैट इज द रीजन why the people at the government level are speaking about it. We need to understand that if the CA, who is the statutory auditor for any XYZ company, if we fail at the first instance, there are many other who are going to face the repercussions, because the person who is going to intrude into the affairs, who can cross-examine, who can challenge the affairs of the company, is the statutory auditor. If they fail to perform their role responsibly, then everybody else is going to face the repercussions for it. So this is the story with respect to Deloitte. They are planning to impose section 140 subsection 5 of the Companies Act, wherein the tribunal can take action against the auditor if the auditor has not performed their duties responsibly, and in this case they might have to suffer a 5-year ban, which will be a really bad news for the fraternity out there. Okay, now as far as the housing finance companies are concerned, the CARE has downgraded the stock of Reliance Housing Finance Limited and RCFL. They have been declared as default or junk category, which is again a bad news. Yesterday the stock of RHFL was trading around 26 rupees. With a high price of 76 rupees, the stock came down to 22 rupees and finally closed around 26 rupees. They've declared it as a default category. You can understand, Reliance companies have anyways, the finance companies have anyways been under a little bit of pressure for the last 2 months or so, because of the Anil Ambani's failure and all. But this CARE has also put, CRISIL has also downgraded DHFL, and so all these downgradings coming in now is putting these housing finance companies under serious pressure in the equity market. And I'll just share some statistics with you. And at the same time, CARE has put PNB Housing Finance in the watch list. Again, they feel that just like other NBFCs, even PNB has some liquidity crunch. They are forecasting some liquidity crunch, as a result of which, whenever I say liquidity crunch, it means there are some chances कि कंपनी भाई अपने स्टेक होल्डर्स को या अपने फंड जिन्होंने भी फंडिंग किया है इन्वेस्टर्स को, शायद पैसा वापस करने में फेल कर सकती है. बी इट इंटरेस्ट और बी इट द प्रिंसिपल, डज नॉट मैटर. तो अभी जो ओवरऑल सिनेरियो है सर, वो ये है कि जितने भी हाउसिंग फाइनेंस कंपनीज के शेयर्स हैं, जैसे मैं आपको यहाँ पे 4 शेयर्स का बात कर रहा हूँ. रिलायंस हाउसिंग फाइनेंस मैंने ऑलरेडी आपको बता दिया, 52 वीक हाई वो 76 रुपीज़, अभी स्टॉक 25 रुपये के करीब ट्रेड कर रहा है. इंडिया बुल हाउसिंग फाइनेंस ने 52 वीक हाई 1400 का किया है, अभी स्टॉक का प्राइस अराउंड 670 है. कैनफिन होम का 52 वीक हाई 451 है, स्टॉक इज ट्रेडिंग राइट नाउ अराउंड 318. एंड PNB हाउसिंग फाइनेंस का 52 वीक हाई 1440 रुपीज़ है, राइट नाउ स्टॉक इज ट्रेडिंग क्लोज टू 708. Yesterday it closed at 708 rupees, I believe, and the stock has hit its 52 week low yesterday around 696 rupees. तो अभी हाउसिंग फाइनेंस कंपनीज के जो शेयर्स हैं वो काफ़ी अंडर प्रेशर है, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं इकोनॉमिक स्लो डाउन होने के कारण, और IL&FS का जो भी फियास्को हुआ, या दीवान हाउसिंग का जो भी यहाँ पे मैंने आपसे स्टोरी शेयर किया, उसके कारण बाकी सारे हाउसिंग फाइनेंस कंपनीज भी अंडर प्रेशर आ गए हैं. और अभी जब हाउसिंग फाइनेंस कंपनीज आर अंडर प्रेशर, तो रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटीज़ ने कहीं ना कहीं क्रेडिट रेटिंग एजेंसीज पे भी उंगली उठाई है कि आपने भी कहीं ना कहीं फेल किया है रिकग्नाइज करने में कि वेदर दीज कंपनीज आर रिलायबल और नॉट, वेदर दे विल बी एबल टू रिटर्न बैक द मनी ऑफ द इन्वेस्टमेंट हाउसेस. तो इसलिए अभी ICRA, केयर, क्रिसिल ये भी बहुत ज़्यादा कंजर्वेटिव हो गए हैं, एंड दे आर लाइक डाउनग्रेडिंग मोस्ट ऑफ दीज हाउसिंग फाइनेंस कंपनीज, एंड दे आर टेलिंग यू वेरी क्लियरली स्टे अवे फ्रॉम देम. दे आर नॉट जस्ट टेलिंग दी investment companies like who are basically funding them. They're not just telling mutual funds to stay away, they're also telling equity investors like you and me to stay away from these stocks for some time. Okay, now comes the advisory on these stocks. What is my suggestion? My suggestion is very simple. If you are already holding these stocks, listen very carefully. If you are already holding these stocks, just stick to your stocks. Do not do any averaging. Do not do panic selling. Don't exit these stocks, because I feel once the election results come out and then we will have another budget being presented by the winning party. In that, I feel some positive news will come in for infrastructure companies like the NBFC. Some positive news might come in. So I think right now you should continue holding on to your stocks. Stocks are already close to their 52-week low. I feel percentage of downside risk from here is less, so you can continue to hold them. Okay, what about fresh investment? These stocks look, especially PNB Housing and Indiabulls Housing, looks very, very attractive, and Dewan Housing also looks very attractive. As I told you, Dewan Housing is trading close to 130 rupees with its 52-week high being 450 odd rupees. So I feel if at all fresh investment has to be done, at least for next 2 to 3 days you should not do, because recently all these down gradings have been done on these stocks, so they will be under pressure for a couple of days. But if you honestly ask me, I feel it is good to buy PNB Housing Finance or Indiabulls Housing Finance at any point of time, but for the time being, I would suggest to avoid them and wait till the election results and wait till the budget presentation and all. After that, you can do fresh buying. But if you are seriously in haste to buy something, I would suggest go for DHFL, because DHFL for me has never been a bad stock. And I feel I always look at the percentage of downside risk. For me, the percentage of downside risk for DHFL is very limited, because the stock is just trading close to 130, 132 rupees. And I think just a couple of days back, they have paid 838 crores towards non-convertible debentures. They paid that much amount of money, which somewhat gives me a positive signal that company does not have so much liquidity crunch. They just paid that much money for their non-convertible debentures, and the management has been proactive. They are coming and telling every now and then that, see, unlike other financing NBFCs, we do not have liquidity crunch, so we are in a comfortable position. We always have enough liquidity to pay out to our lenders. So this is what they have been maintaining, and till now we don't sense anything foul in their play. So, and the correction that has happened in this stock makes it very attractive at its current price, close to 130 rupees. You can definitely consider buying it because the stock is underpriced, and I feel the percentage of downside risk is less. Keep in mind the principles which I always tell you. Do a staggered buying, wait and watch, let the stock stabilize, because you see, अगर दूसरे NBFC के stock गिरेंगे तो DHFL भी थोड़ा गिर सकता है, because they all are positively correlated. They all will go down and they all will go up at the same time. Chances are very high. But I feel DHFL is the safest bet as of now. Second best for me is PNB Housing, because overall their fundamentals are good. But right now, till elections, you should hold on to your stocks if you already have them. If you're planning to do fresh buying, better wait and watch for till the time elections are over, results are out, and budget presentations are done. Right now, on this stock which I feel you can buy is DHFL. If you already have purchased these stocks, then sir अभी बेचिएगा मत, होल्ड करके रखिए. ये सारी कंपनीज अच्छी हैं, पर IL&FS का जो फियास्को हुआ उसके कारण कुछ प्रेशर है ऑब्वियसली, और क्योंकि कंटिन्यूसली ये जो क्रेडिट रेटिंग एजेंसीज है डाउनग्रेड करती जा रही हैं इन कंपनीज को, इसके कारण थोड़ा प्रेशर बना हुआ है स्टॉक्स पे. एंड येस, वी हैव टू कीप सीइंग हाउ थिंग्स गो विद Deloitte, एंड आई विल अपडेट यू इफ देयर इज समथिंग सीरियस गोइंग टू हैपन विद the company, right? So they said a lot of things. There are so many other things I wanted to share, but the video is getting very long over here. They have come up with some arguments that with the fact that IL&FS had 300 plus subsidiaries, it was not completely in control of Deloitte, because some units were being audited by KPMG also, some were being audited by E&Y also, and some of the subsidiaries were even audited by non-Big Four firms. So it's not that Deloitte had a total control on IL&FS, but the whistleblowers have claimed that the Deloitte had a big role to play in suppression of all these malpractices. So we have to wait and watch how things go. The investigations are already going on, but if they are caught red-handed in this entire thing, then they have a capital punishment awaiting them, which is going to be 5 years ban from audit that they won't be able to do any further audits. I hope the video has been useful. Okay, and if you like the video, if you feel the video is useful, please share it and give a thumbs up to the video, because that motivates me to make more videos. And I need your suggestions, guys. Please come on, give me some suggestions on what other topics I have to cover. Most of you have my contact number also. You can directly ping me on WhatsApp regarding the topics you want me to cover. I hope this video has been useful, and till I come back again, keep learning, keep growing. God bless all of you. Bye bye.